late rounds where he's putting out a lot of punches. That's his whole shtick. His whole shtick is that he has an insane stamina pool and he just keeps consistently fighting at the same rate, even when getting cracked.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that in the UFC, I think there are organic breaks within UFC fights where recovery is more possible. I think that when it comes to 17 in the Tournament of Power, I would agree that his recovery is generally higher than the other fighters. But when I think of 17 in the Tournament of Power, especially in that last fight versus Jiren, I'm thinking of, okay, nonstop. This guy is throwing himself.
Well, he's not always nonstop. Well, that's where I disagree. He's not always nonstop. He also, like, you know, if we're going down, like, yeah, I do think if you're saying that, so is your argument that because he's nonstop fighting, even though he has infinite stamina, he can't recover as fast?
Yeah, to the best of my memory, it's pretty nonstop in that final Jiren fight.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't really resolve it. So I'm gonna post a scan, go to evidence. This is the Piccolo fight. To address what I'm saying, yeah, in the last fight, wait, give me a second.
Go with the bets.
Yeah, in the last fight, yeah, it's non-stop. But I'm saying that he's already recovered by that time. He's already fighting. He's had a couple different instances where he gets to recover, where, you know, he's not in action, where he's maybe sitting around, or even like a perfect example, if you're granting that he can recover really fast due to the infinite stamina, when he suicide bombs Jiren and explodes himself, he does, you know, sit off screen for quite some time and he comes back like very okay, very game to fight.
No, I disagree. Okay, so here's the sequence of events as I remember.
Give me a second. I gotta open the door.
Okay. Just let me know when you're done.
Okay. Go ahead. Hello, Forks. Hello.
Yo, Forks, you were so fucking ass. Holy shit. Quit debating. Go back to whatever you're doing.
Baby reborn.
Let me get this one.
Get off my way, Forks. Before
Bro, chill. Wait, stop interrupting, bro. Stop ruining him, bro. Chill. Wait, Forks, go ahead.
Yeah, no, so what I was saying, here's the sequence of events as I remember them, right? So this is after the Goku versus Jiren MUI fight. Android 17 does that thing where he tackles Jiren and like encapsulates both of their bodies.
Which one is post MUI? Are you talking about the instance when he explodes himself? I don't think that's post MUI.
No, that is post MUI. This is after Goku lost his stamina and fell to his knees. This is when 17 and Frieza are fighting Jiren after they're like revealed to still be alive.
What episode is that?
I think that's what would it be? 130 something. Hold on, let me look.
No, that's 100% not 130. That episode is 100% not 130.
I think it's 130 or 131.
Nope, it's not 120. It's in the 120s. I promise you.
No, I promise you it's not, because 128 is when Goku doesn't even have MUI until 129, 130, and this is after the MUI fight.
Those fight. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna post it up.
Hold on, I'll grab it for you. Hold on.
Yeah.
I think it's literally the last episode of Super.
You saying Mastered Ultra Instinct? Yeah, no. Wait.
Who can, like, verify the time?
Yeah, I'll clarify this. This is not post MUI. Jiren still has this shirt on here. It's not MUI. I have it.
Wait.
Look at Hangout.
You're mistaken about. I think you're mistaken about which moment, because there's like several moments. Android 17 like does the shield shit with
This
Jiren.
is the suicide explosion. This is the one we're talking about. This is not.
Are you talking about wait? Are you talking about where we think he self-destructs and dies?
Yes, this is 127.
That's not the one I'm talking about.
That's the one I brought up earlier, bro.
No. The reason why I'm talking about the 17 fight with Jiren after the MUI fight is because that's where he's non-stop fighting and doesn't really have a chance to recover. I'm not talking about where he self-destructs suicides. I'm talking about where he tackles Jiren in like episode 131.
Yeah, but that's what. But I told you he's already recovered because he literally. And first off, that Jiren is like massively fatigued. That's post MUI Jiren.
No, I agree. Wait. Hold on. I'll explain. I'll break down to you the reason why I'm bringing this up specifically, and then we could go from there. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing up the explosion is because that greatly damages Android 17. Like, it brings him down to his knees. Like, he's really fucked up.
Yeah, but
and the reason that's relevant. The reason that's relevant is because but the reason that's relevant is because I'm gonna make the argument that he was fatigued, arguably more not fatigued. He was more damaged, arguably, than Frieza, I think. And he was still going relative to Frieza and Goku in their 3v1 versus.
Yeah. I disagree completely. Yeah, all those points are just false.
Let's go.
I'm gonna break it down one by one. The Frieza point is horse crap because Frieza got violated 2 times previously by Toppo and ate a destruction blast. That's literally like attempted existence erasure. That's my addressment to that first point. The Frieza part, the damage part. The second part, the reason why I bring up the which I brought up earlier, the suicide bomb attempt. He literally self-implodes, and where they think he's dead on episode 127. So it's not in the 130s. You're completely incorrect. When he self-implodes and they think he's dead, we don't even see him on screen for an entire episode or for a little bit, and he comes back perfectly fine and tries the suicide attempt again, meaning he's perfectly fine to try to do these type of things. And I understand he does take a knee and go down, but I didn't say he doesn't take damage. I'm saying he recovers from damage. So him getting damage and taking a knee doesn't matter to me. It doesn't address my argument.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna grab the video. I'm gonna grab the video for you of what I'm talking about, because I still think you're misunderstanding what scene I'm talking about.
I know he fights, he 2v1s Jiren, and then Frieza fights him, and then while Jiren doesn't notice, he dashes into Jiren, puts a shield around them, and implodes themselves. And he takes a knee after getting hurt. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. So hold on. So you made the argument that Frieza got even more violated earlier in the Tournament of Power. Yeah. I don't think that's super relevant, though, because I agree he got violated back then, but we clearly see that. Because remember how he got knocked off screen by Toppo even before the Android 17 self-destruct moment? So he got knocked off.
He got violated twice. So you're forgetting.
No. I agree. I'm saying he got knocked off screen in like episode 127 or something, and came back.
No, that's not 127. 127 was the 17 self-implosion, so that's incorrect.
No, actually, I think he got knocked off screen even before that. You're right. So it would have been 126.
It was before that. Yes, it was before.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that he was given such a sufficient amount of off-screen time to come back and to actually fight Jiren in Golden Frieza form. And the reason why that's super reflective of him having recovered greatly is because we know that the Golden form is heavily stamina draining. It's not like Super Saiyan Blue, where you have perfect mastery over your stamina. So the fact that he went into that form to fight Jiren at the end means that it's not as if like the prior damage he took earlier was greatly weighing him down at that time. So that's why I argue 17 was in that moment. Yes, I think that's why 17 in that moment.
I'll address. No,
yeah, go ahead.
So I'll address it. So again, you didn't address you're not really addressing the recovery point, which is one problem that you're having here. I'm saying I'm perfectly okay with him taking damage, but he recovers perfectly fine after all these instances. We've already been over how the infinite stamina correlates to recovery. We've already agreed to that. The thing about Golden Frieza, I understand he had an ample amount of time, but Golden Frieza, able to boxing with a heavily fatigued Jiren just means that he's taking so much damage. And the point that I'm getting to here about you saying he's more damaged, I don't think he's really damaged because he recovers quickly. And so what I'm saying, all the argument is that he's been consistently fighting out of specific performance, while Golden Frieza, and he's not even able to box with this Jiren. Jiren two-taps him while fatigued and weakened post-MUI, and that Frieza is able to box with him. I understand that Frieza had an ample amount of time to recover, but it still doesn't say that he's so fatigued and tired that he's barely keeping up in his golden form with a Jiren who's had the hell beat out of him for 2 episodes straight. So he still is heavily fatigued. So
wait. Yeah. Not to get you off, but Jiren being fatigued here is not very relevant. I'm not trying to say that they scaled to Jiren in any meaningful way.
That's not my argument.
I'm trying to say that.
Wait. That's not my argument. That's not.
No. I'm just clarifying. I'm not saying that's your argument. I'm just clarifying. I'm just saying that I'm scaling them to each other, not Jiren, regardless of if he's fatigued or not. But hold on. The clip that I'm specifically talking about is, and I'll just link. I'll link it in evidence. It's at the 1:40. It's at the 1 minute 40 second mark. This is when Android 17 kabooms himself. Now, the thing I'm arguing is that it's true that Android 17 has... Fire kill, 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 fire nugget, fire.
I found them. I'm just timing them.
Bruh.
Like there's just no reason. There's just no reason to do that. There's just no reason to. There's just no reason. It's not hilarious. Like it's not funny. You're not him. You're not a superstar, bro. Like hello, bro. Like come on. Like, continue. Don't make your point. Make your point.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm saying at 1 minute 40, as Android 17 not self-destructs, but like creates the explosion inside of the shield.
Okay.
Immediately following that is the final fight. What I'm arguing is that Android 17 was fighting non-stop from that point onward after he was greatly injured. I'm arguing he had no time to recover, even with his exceptional recovery ability. That's what I'm arguing. Do you have like a disagreement?
Yeah, I do have a disagreement because the form of combat, first off, there's a big monologue where he does have a break to recover. So you're incorrect there because they actually piece him up. So the context of what happens is why you're a little confused and how these events conspire. They piece up Jiren. They stop him. So Jiren gets stopped in his tracks. So for God knows how much time, Andriod 17 is just sitting there recovering.
Actually, hold on. It's not God knows how much time. We know that this is all taking place within like the last 40 seconds
minutes,
of the tournament. No, 40 seconds. It was like the last 40 seconds of the tournament of power.
That's perfectly. That's ample amount of time.
Hold on, wait. But what that means is that if we're generous, we're giving them maybe like 2. Remember when Toppo was giving the motivational speech to Jiren for him to rise up?
Okay.
If we're being generous and we're assuming that that's the recovery time allotted to Android 17, that was like, if I had to use conjecture, maybe 3, 4, 5 seconds at most, and then they were non-stop fighting using pretty much.
The thing is, Forks. You're saying that they're non-stop fighting, so he doesn't get a chance to recover. I'd agree with that. If they were non-stop fighting, they actually stop Jiren and they stop fighting completely. So he does get legitimate time to sit there and recover due to his infinite stamina.
Yeah, but the only time they get to recover again is when Jiren basically becomes a bitch and gives up, and Toppo has to give that motivational.
There's even time. Wait, so
but
there's
that,
way
but
more
that's
time than that.
That's the only time.
That's a context to me because remember they stop him, right? He coughs up. Frieza has to walk up to him. Then Frieza sits there and taunts him. And then after that, after like Jiren like loses hope, then all the way down in the episode, then Toppo gives the speech. There's actually like more than double the time that you gave.
Sure. So here's why I disagree. I think that what you're talking about is reflective of the dramatic kind of atmosphere within the TV show. I don't think that it's an adequate representation of the canonical time that actually passed.
I'm not talking about any. Wait. I disagree. There's no dramatization.
Wait. Hold on. It is dramatization. I'll explain.
There wasn't any. Can you hold on.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I haven't even made the case. So I'm gonna make the case for
this guy, please, bro. Like, these niggas up, bro. Go ahead, bro.
So the case for it being dramatized is because, I mean, it literally like is the most dramatic thing I've ever seen. Jiren falls to his knees.
That's not an argument.
Frieza's doing it because
that's not an argument.
Wait. Hold on, that wasn't the argument. I was making an offhand comment. It was an offhand comment.
I think. No,
I know you want. Okay, yeah. But like, Jiren falls to his knees. He's panting. He's going on like the philosophical waxing of having nobody. Frieza's doing his like maniacal monologue, and like canonically we know that like the Tournament of Powers in like the last 40 or like 30 seconds. I would compare it to, you know how like I'd compare it to game mechanics almost, right? Like we would never we would never power scale.
He will stop you up, bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, I'm sure, 100%.
I'm gonna finish up over.
Yeah, just finish up the point real quick. And then we can probably conclude it.
Compare it to game mechanics in the same way that we would never power scale based off like the way that the game mechanics play out. Just like we would never take like dramatized moments in TV shows to represent canonic information.
Okay, so my direct response to that is you're just trying to write it off as dramatization, when in reality, it's at the end of the day, it's still events flowing in succession to each other, which means, and we already grant that these guys are like fighting in a very small amount of time, so these guys are recovering in like seconds to like maybe a minute. For Android 17, since his recovery much better than everybody else's, I'd say seconds in comparison to like Frieza, who recovered like a minute. So I say seconds is definitely enough for him to recover due to him having literally an infinite pool of energy, right? He gets in my response to that is, since you try to write it off as dramatization, events are still flowing and there's still more time than you originally described at the end of the day, which you saying is dramatization doesn't deny that there was more time added on to him to be able to recover. And so I'm just going to bank on that. He has more than enough time to recover, which obviously if he was, he was holding his arm, took a knee, he stopped holding his arm and was up on 2 legs supporting in the final fight nonstop, which attribute to him being half recovered. So 100%. Yeah. 100%.
I understand. And I would agree with you that these sequences of events might be evidence that a lot of time is passing. However, we know that...
That's not what I said, but...
Sorry, what I remember you saying, and you can clarify if you want, is you said that these events are still passing and so it's still representative of some time that's being allotted for recovery. Would you like to clarify on that? It's okay.
No, yeah, that's what I said. I thought you said that a lot of time. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would be a little bit more. I'd be a little bit more forgiving to this argument. However, there's a precedent within Dragon Ball for these dramatized moments to be hyperbolized for the amount of time they take to be hyperbolized, even though we have canonical information that the time is not that long. So, like for example, and this is a pretty famous one.
I don't think. That's where we disagree.
Right? Like
wait. That's not. Wait, I'm sorry. It's important. No, because.
Okay, go for it.
Hey, y'all suck my fucking dick, nigga. Y'all thought that shit was over? Y'all ain't on shit, pussy.
I'll time them out. Whatever.
These guys are losing.
He's just weird.
From the server.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to allude to earlier. I never said that a lot of time or some massive amounts of times are passing. I'm okay with them being in comparison to the moments and an actual reality. It's a short amount of time that's passing there, which I'm saying in comparison, maybe it takes Frieza a minute and 17 some seconds, like maybe a couple of seconds to recover. He just needs a moment to stop. That's all I'm trying to get to. If he's not fighting, he can recover.
Okay. Wait, well then we could talk about that then. Do you think that there's evidence that a few seconds, like 3 or 4 seconds, is sufficient for Android 17 to recover significantly?
No, not 3 or 4 seconds. Probably a little bit over 10. Just like a good brief moment where he stops fighting. And I think there's more than 10 seconds in that interval, like way more. Because you said that the Topo event was about like 5. We grant that. Let's say about that 5. Probably double of time. Probably the equivalent to the Topo speech happened previous, with Frieza giving his own speech and us recalling like things narrative. I know there's hyperboles in Dragon Ball where they like over dramatize things and we go to flashbacks and no time is really flowing. I grant that there, but we clearly see events flowing in this type of scenario, even as dramatic as it is.
No, okay, I got you. So the thing is, right, we're never going to be able to like pinpoint exactly how much time passed because they don't tell us. However, we're going to
make a good frame.
We're going to each forward our own our own estimates based on what we're interpreting. So like the reason why I don't think it was for that long is because comparatively the amount of time that was allotted for the action scene that followed was greatly representative of the episode. It was far more than the actual kind of speech that was given by Topo and Jiren rising to his feet. So I agree that those things happened. However, I think that they were only a couple of seconds because, again, at this point, the tournament hour is like under a minute. I think it was like 40 seconds.
No. There was a little bit more. There's a little bit more time in that because there was a couple more events that perspired that under a minute would have been a little ridiculous. I think it was a little bit over a minute because remember when they bomb him, he has to get a whole Zenkai boost. And we have another whole episode worth of fighting. So it's a little ridiculous to say, this happened, in just a couple of seconds. There was much more time.
No, I think that makes it less ridiculous. I think the fact that we have a whole episode of fighting, or at least that's the conclusion to the episode after, this like brief reprieve rather, makes it clear that clearly this reprieve, this like motivational speech that Topo gave, like this, like Jiren, like standing to his feet, clearly this was only a few seconds and it was dramatized.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Really quickly, just like as a support, what I was gonna bring up earlier is a really good example of this that's famous in the series is of course Frieza's Namek statement that Namek's gonna explode in 5 minutes. But when you actually look at all the downtime that they have and you add it up collectively, like it's like 30 minutes, right?
Well, so like wait. So I disagree immediately.
You think that's disanalogous?
No. I'm gonna explain to you why I disagree. Right? Him saying that Namek's gonna explode in 5 minutes and him fighting Goku. Remember that these guys are moving at freakish speeds. We're just viewing it in a different perspective. This flies on my screen. We're viewing it in a different perspective. Just from an audience being able to, see what's happening in the fiction. But in reality, they're moving at like MFTO, God knows how fast speed. So these things could have happened in a matter of God knows less than 5 minutes. And then I'll address the other argument. Yeah. Again, I don't think you're necessarily responding to the fact that, yes, we granted Topo's speech was about 5 seconds. And I've said about double the time happened during the entire conclusion of the events of what happened that entire episode, which I said and I've justified as to why it's ample amount of time for Android 17 to be able to recover, because all he needs is just a brief moment where they stop fighting. You substantiated it as that they were just constant fighting, so he couldn't recover. Obviously, they weren't consistently fighting because for half the episode they were monologuing. He definitely had more than enough time to recover.
Sure, but just like you said that that they're fighting at like MTFL speeds, and so it's like super it's much faster than it's actually depicted for us the audience. I think the same goes for their speeches and talking, right? Like they can talk to they talk to each other all the time during fights, so clearly it's not like the real world physics of the speed of sound is like applicable, right? So like their speeches, these things can be equally as fast. Also, there's one thing that you said that I don't want to let you get away with because I feel like I need to hold you down to this claim. You said that a few seconds is good enough for Android 17 to recover
I
significantly.
clarified how many. Yeah, I do think so.
Yeah. But like when you say that, do you have any hard proof or precedent for this being the case in the series, or is this just conjecture based on what you think his powers are?
No, it happens multiple times. Well, he point blank ranges during the first time when he injures him. And in this one where he's literally holding his arm, he takes a knee from the damage that he took. But just us knowing that this is happening under a minute, according to you, he just gets up and lets his arm go and is throwing off energy blast like he's a shooter on the street. Like so, he seems to be able to recover in definitely seconds, 100%.
Sorry, could you run that back really quickly? Which example was that?
Okay. He point blanks Jiren one time, and the third time he point blanks Jiren, he takes it himself. He takes damage, he takes the knee, and he holds his arm. Just a couple seconds after that, he lets go of his arm, and he stands up on his 2 feet, and he fights in the final fight.
Sure. I don't think that that's him, quote unquote, recovering, as in he's regenerating stamina or energy. What I think that is equivalent to when you get hit. Like let's say you're playing football, you get hit, you get tackled to the ground, you're like lying on the ground, fuck that hurt, and then you stand up, right? I think the point is that he was still significantly damaged, but he toughed his way through the pain to continue fighting. I think
this is what I'm saying. Stamina is attributes to that. And I don't think you were understanding. I gave a very perfect analogy of what I was making clear what he's doing. I said he was rolling with the punches. I said he was doing something Max Holloway does, which is being able to fight consistently over this wide range of time. Him getting hit and standing back up, you have to have a certain amount of stamina to be able to output more force after getting hit. It's rolling with the punches.
I agree, but that speaks to the amount of stamina that you have and can output. That doesn't speak to stamina regeneration. That doesn't speak to stamina regeneration.
Yes, bro.
No. All you're demonstrating is that all you're demonstrating.
Before you say regeneration, I clarified. I made it specific as recovery. I made it like recovery.
Yeah, when you say recovery and I say stamina regeneration, I'm trying to get across the same idea, right?
No, not necessarily, because I said a UFC fighter who gets shined and continues to fight and push the same pace even after getting clipped. It's not what you're thinking.
Yeah, but I don't think that's recovery. I just think that you're demonstrating that he. No, it just demonstrates that he wasn't out of stamina. That doesn't demonstrate that he recovered the lost stamina. That's more specific.
Dude, I don't think you're understanding the point I'm trying to get across for it.
Hold on, do you mind if hold on? I gotta take care of something. I'll be back in a minute and a half.
No problem.
Is that cool? Okay, cool.
Yeah, can we conclude shortly when you come back?
I
think we should. We've been going, kind of.
Yeah, like maybe within the next 15 minutes. Is that appropriate?
I don't think we should be on this point for that long. That's kind of ridiculous. We've been on this point for a minute now.
Did you mean just conclude on the point? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, on the point. Yeah, not the debate. Okay, perfect. You been keeping up, Draco? Is he here?
He's sleeping.
No way.
He's here, but he's typing in chat right now, so he's taking a second.
No, I wasn't looking at chat. Oh, he's muted. He's muted. Can someone unmute? He's like the judge, by the way. Is that Nemesis? Oh my god. Like skill, like Shakid, whole pill, vocabulary spilled, I'm 3+ magic, freak beat slamming, like Iron Shake, jam like TC. Nice me, surprise me, I can't magnetize me, it's kind of why you're planning ways to have me.
Okay, there we go.
Are you good?
Drake, I just saw your DM about the debate. You spit.
Draco suppressed somebody.
Yeah. up with this.
Okay. It's not a bad debate. It's pretty good. Let's not, we're not spurting, getting points across. It's
No, it's been civil.
yeah, it's chill. I don't think me and him are gonna spur. We're pretty chill with each other. Yeah, I'm off work tomorrow. We can stream a movie all night, bro. We can stream a movie all night.
Yo, who deleted the kid's message?
Fucking Auden.
Or I mean Lightbulb V2.
Hey, you're right.
I'm telling you, I'll be tier 1 in a couple of months, guys. Just let me get through the rest of the tier 2s.
Yo, Pat's still on him.
What the fuck? Yeah, Draco, go check Gotham City. Go see what the fuck Shant just said in chat.
Forks is tier 2. Forks is tier 2. Don't play Forks like that. Forks is tier 2. No, Forks is actually good. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, someone returned. Oh, what's up, Mookie? Been a while, Bubbles.
Yo, what the fuck is Jaren being, bro?
That is me, bro. That was me trying to explain to BB Reborn certain street fight situations where he believes that choking somebody out in a street fight is not smart if I have their back, which is ridiculous. That's all I gotta say.
Bro, was there a fucking burner rejoinder on this one?
There's not a. He said he'd be back in like a minute, bro. Chill.
I'm gonna be honest. The debate did go on longer than it needed to.
Yo, it's GG, bro. It's GG, bro. Folks won, bro. GG.
W.
Oh yeah,
Whoever
just
rag
said
dog
Forks
you.
won, I need to quit.
Apollo said he'd ragdoll everybody, so that's not a statement just towards me. So, I'll say that. I'm not Mexican. I'm Dominican. Let's clarify. Hold up.
Damn.
Yeah, y'all rocking with the PFP I have for the server? Is W or no?
Bro.
Powerful.
Smash put Michael, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out what's going on between Auden and 2, though.
It's my strongest person out. I mean,
Bro thinks he's me.
my fault. I almost let that one slip out.
Nah, 2's judgment was kind of ass, but
What happened?
Nah, we might need to see Auden versus 2.
he said Auden didn't
Like,
attack Shimmer's argument, but Auden called it out as a shotgun. So I mean, if that's the reason that he's using, then it doesn't make sense.
Like,
Wait, Auden said he said on the recording
that it was a shotgun.
Wait. Did Auden say on recording that was a shotgun?
Yeah,
He said it on recording. I literally, Jester, they were debating, and he called it out as a shotgun, and I even stopped Shinner, and I was like, yeah, you're shotgunning, and then
Wait, look at me, bro.
like,
Look at me in general, bro. Look at me in general. W monkey.
Before they even ended the debate, I'm pretty sure he literally said if he said some shit that made him instantly lose the debate.
Bro, where are y'all pulling these pictures from?
It doesn't count.
Wait. How does Bubble have that picture? That's actually crazy. Low-key. I'm rolling.
Nah, but I'm gonna be honest. Jester's winning.
Rolling.
Jester is fucking slamming.
I'll be clowning Nemesis.
That's right, 7.
Everyone has.
Right?
Yeah, I have
That's
to.
right,
No, I have Frieza.
Yeah, Frieza, and you're winning? Oh, hell no.
He's muted.
Yeah.
He's muted. He's muted. Alright, can we how much more do you want to go on this point?
I'm gonna wrap.
That's from my IG. Oh my god. Yeah, what happened? Wait,
Think
what's
about-
up?
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yeah, I think I want to wrap up soon, but I did just want to, have the point about distinguishing between him still having stamina to get up and continue fighting and him actually recovering stamina. What you were describing to me earlier about him getting down on the ground after being injured and then getting back up, that doesn't seem, indicative of some greater ability he has. That sounds like something that even Frieza does, like in the same kind of series of fights.
Well, no, that's incorrect. So, for example, when people suicide bomb like that, they take a massive explosion that's able to damage somebody that's obviously, just as strong as them. So he did an explosion that was able to put somebody down that was about as relative to Frieza at the time, right? So he put him down in one go. Once it hit him, it just put him down instantly, and he recovered from that right away. Like he took a knee, and he take the same shot too. And this is another example of it. Jiren just goes, vomits on the floor, gets down, and 17 immediately gets up. So,
yeah, I agree. I think Jiren at that point had less stamina though than 17 did. But all I'm arguing is that you made the argument that 17 has the disproportionate ability to recover stamina and recover energy, right? In a way that was exclusive to him. And I agreed to it to an extent, but then you made the very specific claim that he could do it in a matter of seconds. But this example you're providing,
I specified.
yeah, this example you're providing me, it doesn't seem like he's recovering energy. That doesn't seem apparent. It just seems like he still has energy left. He gets up after taking a massive blow. Like that doesn't seem like what you're describing.
Well, you're giving one interpretation. I've already explained multiple times how, you're saying he's recovering energy. He already has a never-ending amount of it, which is why I say when he takes a punch or he takes a hit, the same way I've given the analogy multiple times before, he's able to just roll with it. I understand, and he makes it really clear that he gets damaged and he takes a knee. Like he actually got, he got really hurt from that. But then he just stands up, which is the problem that you're facing here. I think you have to get around is that, why is he just standing up right away from something like that?
Because he's not sufficiently damaged.
Why do you think that?
Well, because okay, so here's the problem, right?
I'm suplexing that guy.
It's not. You're what?
No, it's the image in general. Go ahead.
Okay. So the problem is that it's not apparent what specifically is happening, right? Like this is just a very subjective interpretation you're giving, which is fine, but it just seems like you're assuming it for the sake of assuming it. So it could be the case, and I take it to be the case, that he simply did not take sufficient damage and so was able to stand up after that blow, right? But you're taking it to be the case that he actually did take sufficient damage. However, he recovered that stamina in seconds. I don't think either is apparent. I just think either are sumptuous on both of our parts. I don't see why we would presuppose yours or mine.
The reason why we presuppose mine is because Jiren is already massively stronger than him, even at this point in the fight. And, he initially engages him, and Jiren literally two-taps him and removes him from the fight. Right? Where
I
Frieza
agree.
has... Yeah, okay, so then...
Yeah,
if we know
he just has less stamina than 17 at this point. What I mean?
This dude is... But this dude is massively stronger than 17, right? Obviously, he's higher in AP, he's higher in speed. 17 had a... create an energy ball that was of the AP of a guy that literally two-tapped him and hit himself and him at the same time.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
Well, what do you mean?
I apologize. I shouldn't be cutting you off like this. Yeah.
But yeah, he removed essentially both themselves from the fight. So you're saying that there wasn't enough damage or sufficient damage, that he didn't take enough damage. He made a blast that was of the AP of somebody who literally two-tapped him earlier in the fight. So I don't think you have any type of justification to say why he didn't take sufficient damage.
I don't think that what you're necessarily describing is true. I don't think that Android 17 needed to produce equivalent or relative AP to Jiren in order to do that to him. And here's why.
I
We can
disagree.
conceive a much stronger person who's so winded and so damaged that even while being much stronger, they're taken out by a much weaker foe. If I were to go into a fight with Mike Tyson, even after he's fought 20 guys, it could still be the case that there's adrenaline pumping through him and he's still lashing out full force like a ravaged animal, right? However, if I hit him with a punch, which, let's be real, I'm not punching Mike Tyson as hard as he can punch me. It could be the case that he's so winded and already so broken that he just fucking collapses, right? So I don't think what you're describing is necessarily true. I think you need to demonstrate it to be the case.
You gave a really bad example, and I think we could perfectly go to conclusions. You're saying that a Mike Tyson strung up on adrenaline with a neck bigger than your entire body, if you don't throw something that has some umph behind it, enough umph to really put something behind it, to really like shake his core, he's not going down, right?
No, yeah, he is. It's called the straw that broke the camel's back, right? It's called he's at this like capacity. It only takes a little bit more to nudge him over, even if he's more powerful than me.
The thing,
and I just
happen
to be the straw that broke the camel's back.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem. That just can't be true, because if that was the case, Frieza would have taken him out the equation, but he had more than sufficient enough energy to 2v1 them and go blow for blow with Frieza and even beat him in exchanges at times. The thing that I'm saying is, I'm saying, I want you to, I'm gonna lock it down. At the time, right, he had this X amount of AP or this X amount of strength left. He 2-taps Android 17. They're not even relative. They're not even relative at all. Android 17.
Of strength, yeah.
Okay, so if he has enough strength to be able to take an X amount of force, Android 17 has to produce this X amount of force that literally 2-tapped them earlier in the fight to be able to take this guy out. Unless you think Frieza winded him down that much, which I don't think is true.
I think I already demonstrated why that's not the case. I think that you're just, again, kind of almost begging the question and that you're presupposing your conclusion within the premise of your argument. But to target the Frieza thing, because that was kind of a separate point, the reason I suspect Frieza was not able to do what 17 did is because these are two fundamentally different fighters. We see 17 go out of his way, right, to essentially sacrifice his own health in the pursuit of defeating Jiren, which is not a strategy that Frieza was going to do. And as we agreed, Jiren was way stronger than them. And if you're fighting someone who's way stronger than you and you're not willing to sacrifice those things to take him down, you're going to get wrapped up like Frieza.
Okay, I'm going to make it clear. I don't think you really argued against me, and the Frieza example that you gave, I think, helped my argument. So we've basically reached an impasse.
Just curious.
Well, I'm just trying to make a point that I don't think Frieza really did much in the exchange. I think 17 was the detrimental factor that put him out.
No, I agree, but it's because Frieza was not willing to sacrifice.
That's fine. I just think it helps my argument. You arguing that, so I think we're at an impasse here, and I think we should just conclude. I think it's perfectly fine for us to conclude right here.
Okay, would you like to go first since you were the aggressor in this point?
Yeah, no problem. I think I've demonstrated the infinite stamina correlating to recovery. I think I've made it clear multiple times that he just needs a couple seconds to recover with the Jiren example. I think I've made it, again, really clear in these exchanges that, this guy has an X amount of AP left, amount of, a certain threshold of damage that he could take an output, and 17 to be able to have to take him down would have to meet this. And I made that really clear. I don't think Forks really addressed that. I think the Frieza point saying Frieza didn't do anything to tire him down at that point helped my argument, meaning 17 produced a force so great, equivalent to a guy who literally one-tapped him and just got up right away, and he wasn't unable to get up. So I think I made it really clear, and I think I won that point, like, no problem.
Okay. So Jester tried making the point that Frieza was capable of, not Frieza, 17 was capable of disproportionate stamina regeneration and recovery, which I agree with. However, he made the very specific argument, which required a lot more evidence, that he could do this within a couple of seconds, because that was the time frame of recovery which was allotted when Toppa was giving the motivational speech to Jiren. I think that he was unable to demonstrate this very thoroughly. I agree that he made his point clear, but making your point clear does not mean you've proven it. It just means that you've enunciated enunciated it very well. He did enunciate very well that he thought that 17 had to do relative AP to Jiren in order to take him down like that. But that presupposes several things. For example, it presupposes that the ultimate factor was not that Jiren had just been through the ringer, and was on the basically the verge, right, running on pure adrenaline only, and that 17 was the straw that broke the camel's back. He presupposes, even though he made the argument very clearly, right, he stated it clearly but didn't really argue well for it, he presupposes that 17 demonstrated the ability to recover his stamina greatly after doing the nuke attack on Jiren in like the final episode. However, he didn't really demonstrate that that was actual stamina recovery. All it demonstrated was that 17 took a harsh blow and was able to get up from it. All that demonstrates is that his durability and stamina was not depleted. Not that it was depleted, but he was able to recover pretty much instantly. He just presupposed that as well. At the end of the day, I think his arguments are very circular. I think that there's a lot of assumptions built into them that I very adequately pointed out. And yeah, 17 going relative with end of Tournament of Power Frieza and Goku, as I was arguing to make the argument that they're relative with each other. I don't think that the merit of that argument is diminished by 17's recovery abilities, because Jester did not adequately argue that they made such a huge difference. That's it.
All right. Are you all done?
With that point, yes, sir.
Okay. You guys want me to wait till the end, or?
I'm fine with you giving thoughts on that point now, because it's going to be relevant to future.
I mean, in my opinion, I would have to go with Jester there. Well, I think you pointed out, like, okay, it's definitely like possible he's like significantly fatigued in this moment here, or like fatigued and doesn't have time to recover. I think Jester was able to give like numerous examples of like why he wouldn't be hindered to like a significant degree, like when he was talking about like him getting up and him getting kneed and getting up. And I think it all kind of goes back to like the biggest thing I had a problem with was like the statement Jester introduced initially, like early on, for like his stamina in the Piccolo fight. I don't feel like you adequately addressed that. I feel like you didn't necessarily like concede to it, but you kind of granted it on its face when you said like, okay, yeah, he can have like remarkable like stamina and recovery. So I think that just like put you in a corner there and on that position. But you know, I would have just liked to see you know, like more examples of like why he would have been fatigued in those scenes. Like, you know, if you would have said like, oh, we can see he's still panting here, like you know, he's having trouble getting up here, stuff like that.
For sure. No, I understand. I think that with the Piccolo thing, I think we decided to stick more to the example of the UFC fighter there, because there was two kind of working analogies, the Piccolo and the, I think, Max Holloway that he mentioned. And I was just trying to argue then that the thing is that in UFC fights, and I wasn't sure if this applied to the Piccolo one as well. I said we could get into it, but we never ultimately did. There are like organic moments where fighters are able to pace themselves or are able to recover, not like the onslaught of action that was represented in the final fight with Jiren.
Okay, I think that just goes to like the point of as far as the time span. And I think like ultimately like all we get there is like, okay, it took him like a brief moment to recover. But like really that's all we get. And it like ultimately to me it just comes to like it seems like Jester brought more to the table as far as like what he was trying to argue here. So I would have to give it to Jester as far as you know, was he fatigued significantly or fatigued enough for us to disregard these showings?
Okay, word. That's okay. I have the ability to flip this.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah,
So
I usually prefer to give judgments.
I guess we
at the
can move
end.
on.
That's why I usually don't like give judgments early on, because like okay, then you could potentially go on and like argue something that makes like this irrelevant.
But no, I don't think you'll be able to do that, because the problem that points at now that I've now
But
that
if
me
you guys
having
prefer it, I can just judge point by point. It's whatever.
I like point back. We both prefer that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the point we're at now, where we know he, recovers in these like amounts of time, the point it was just leading to that this guy is basically consistent during the entire tournament, and he's pretty much fresh at this point because of his infinite reserve of energy. So while he's fresh, he's literally like not relative at all. So we have a fatigued Frieza, which you already granted is fatigued and beat up and literally ate a Hakai earlier, even if he's going into gold. He's definitely beat up and not as strong as he was before. 17 clearly gets two tapped by Jiren, and Frieza fights relative with him the entire time.
Okay. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's the debate. I mean,
no, I don't think so. Don't be so confident, young Padawan.
Not necessarily. I
think you did a great job.
Why the fuck you laughing like that, bro?
For sure. I want to see you. I want to see you address that. We've already granted all of that earlier, so.
Yeah, I think you did a great job. Well, we'll get into it. I think you did a great job with the first point, but the second point's going to be a doozy for you. Okay, here we go. So now that it seems as if the judgment has come in and that Android 17 does in fact have remarkable stamina regeneration time, that it only takes a few seconds, so on and so forth, I'm going to make the argument that Frieza, right, is not going to be able to get past the barriers effectively, and B, the barriers are going to allow for 17 to recover his stamina and his physical attributes as the fight prolongs, and Frieza is just going to run out of gas essentially.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why that doesn't work at all?
No, I want to win the debate, but go ahead.
Explain. So I'll explain a couple scenarios. So a couple problems that you have, the barriers aren't invincible. I'd say the barriers are probably proportionate to the energy that he has at the time. And keep in mind, a beat up, fatigued, cracked up Frieza, who literally got Hakai'd earlier, which is attempted existence erasure, is literally on a whole nother level than Android 17. So I'll just say he just cracks the barriers and just speed blitzes him. He literally can't keep up.
Well, let's presuppose for a moment that that Frieza is at a higher level. Let's steelman that he's at a higher level than 17. I think that the barriers have proven effective against people with vaster differences in power, right, than Frieza.
How effective?
Yes. So here's how effective. We saw that Android 17 was able to put up like a dozen barriers against an enraged Jiren who is going to annihilate him, Goku, and Vegeta. And the fact of the matter is, if 17 wasn't trying to sacrifice himself so that he could save those two, he could have pretty easily just avoided that blast. Like it was taking forever to get to him. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's fine, but again, Forks doesn't get around the argument. He's gonna put up barriers, right, proportionate to the amount of energy and amount that he could put up. Jiren is clearly capable of putting out AP to smash the barriers. It's not like he really was stopping any. Okay, so I'm getting.
But it takes time. And if Jiren is more, if the power disparity between 17 and Jiren is higher than the power disparity between 17 and Frieza, 17 can just indefinitely stall Frieza. Because sure, Frieza can smash through the barriers, but it takes time, and by the time he smashes through them, 17 has already got more up because of the infinite energy and recovery.
No, I disagree. I think he just.
How does he deal with it?
I think he.
Well, how does he deal with it?
Yeah, but the thing is that you're having here, he's not. First off, he's not faster than him. And he's not stronger. We've conceded. He's gonna.
He doesn't need to be. He doesn't.
Yes, he does. I'll explain why.
He's shown the capacity to put these up against people who are far stronger.
He smashed him right away.
No, Jiren did not. Hold on. Jiren took time to smash.
Flip the fight. He smashed him right away.
Pull up where an enraged Jiren is throwing down a huge energy ball, and it takes time to get to 17.
Because the speed of the ball, not the speed of Jiren.
You were talking about the time that it took for Toppo to motivate Jiren. We're gonna look at the time for this shit to happen because it was a while.
It's the speed of the ball building up energy.
No, the ball already built up energy. I'm talking about as the ball was going towards 17. It took a while to get through.
That's not the speed of Jiren. I'm talking about Frieza going to the barriers.
Do you think that the key orbs, the key blasts that people throw at each other in Dragon Ball are significantly slower than their movement speed?
Not all, but some are. This time, like the Spirit Bomb, yes, it is. Like
That's
things
not
like
spirit bomb.
I'm giving you an example. I'm saying large beams of energy they put together, yes, sometimes are slower.
I don't even agree necessarily that the spirit bomb is much slower than the average person who throws it. I think you can make the argument that although like through dramatic effect, because it's like the ultimate move, it looks slow. But if it was truly so much slower, then people would just dodge it. They just go around it. They wouldn't even bother trying to push it back.
You want to know how you're gonna get caught up in this rabbit hole of riding? They've thrown the spirit bomb and they've gotten it. You know, it's okay. They've thrown the spirit bomb and they've gotten into key clashes mid spirit bomb. They literally throw it and then have the time in between the spirit bomb to throw another attack to push it forward. Like that's ridiculous.
Wait, hold on. What I'm saying is that when you look at Jiren or when you look at Majin Buu or you look at Frieza or any of these people who are relative, if not faster than the spirit bomb wielders such as Goku, if they were that fast that the spirit bomb was irrelevant to them, right? Or if the energy blast that Jiren threw at 17 wasn't fast, why didn't they just avoid it? Why didn't 17 just pick up Vegeta and Goku and just move them? Why didn't
the
Frieza
size of the attack?
Why didn't the size of the attack?
Yeah, and then a lot of the times it's the size of the attack, and they try to match it and push it back towards the other person. So
yeah, but hold on. Why would 17? Okay, so we agree that it's like the
and
size.
And this isn't a spirit bomb. I'm saying this isn't a spirit bomb. I'm saying that in this case, 17 is standing. Yeah. He's standing in one spot, and his idea of blocking this is putting up multiple barriers. So he's not looking to dodge around. He's looking to stop it. And at the end of the conclusion, let me finish.
The reason why is
in the final. Let me finish. And the final conclusion was a suicide bomb. So he had an idea to like.
The reason why, but the reason why is because he can't dodge it. Because he can't lift up Goku and Vegeta who are right next to him and get out of the way. Because it's too fast. That's the same reason why Frieza was not able to dodge the spirit bomb. Goku threw at him on Namek.
But you just
wasn't able to dodge it.
You just given context. But what's in question here is the speed of the actual ball. Do you think 17 can dodge it?
No, I don't. I think that it's that fast. I think spirit bombs and large orbs of energy are that fast because again,
you can't prove. I've already given evidence as to why it's opposite.
You argue that the size is too big. You argue that the size is too big, but if the size is too big, it doesn't matter how big the size is. If it moves at a speed that is not relative to the characters, they would just get out of the way.
Okay, so a couple of things. I've already pointed out multiple times that, and you still are not addressing it, that people are literally shooting it and shoot key blast in between shooting it multiple times. That's one. In the fight itself, Draco, why they shoot key blast mid?
Yeah, why would they do that when they could just get out of the way?
To push it back to their point for a more powerful attack.
Okay. So why didn't but that's not what 17 did. 17.
Okay, yeah, and I'll give you I'm addressing that right now.
So his motivation was not to push it back.
Yeah, I'm here. Here's the scene. You've given the context. You actually yourself lost yourself the point. Forks, you literally lost yourself the point.
Demonstrate that. Don't give me rhetoric. Give me points. Demonstrate it.
Yeah, look at evidence, Draco. Yeah. He literally says he doesn't move out the way because he has to save Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta literally says, at least save yourself. Instead of saving himself, which Vegeta implies he could do, he blows himself off to stop the blast. So
do you know why 17 could save himself? Because he put up like 12 shields that slowed down the actual energy ball to a snail's pace, which would have allowed him to get out of the way. However, that wasn't an option because he would have had to leave Goku and Vegeta.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Can you prove that? Prove that for me.
Prove what?
I don't think it slowed it at all. Can you prove that claim?
You don't think that? Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the anime. You're gonna see how fucking slow this makes
Are the barriers when he puts his arms up?
They get shattered in an instant. They literally get shattered right away.
They don't get shattered. Hold on.
The attack was slow.
Hold on. I know you like your little rhetoric games, but I'll just post.
The attack was already slow.
No, it wasn't already slow. And if it was already slow, he would have just picked up Goku and Vegeta and moved them out of the way. Hold on, I'll show you this.
What
17
point in the video the scene?
Yeah, you're literally ridiculous. Go to one.
I'm ridiculous.
Go to 124, Draco. He blasts Jiren shoots an attack that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's slow as hell, and every single time it touches one of his shields, you could literally go to like 2 minutes, it pops it in an instant. It shatters it. He's not slowing it
Yeah.
at
So
all.
once
The
again,
attack is already slow.
you're arguing that dramatization.
It's not
is
dramatization. It's just
canonicity.
slow.
That is dramatization because what you're saying doesn't make sense. It takes 5 seconds to like realize it doesn't make sense. If the
No,
attack
definitely
is
not.
so fucking slow,
Okay.
why did 17 not just pick up Goku and Vegeta who were right next to him and move out of the way?
Because they're
Why was
immobile
there
on
an
the floor.
ultimatum for him to either sacrifice himself or save himself?
Okay, because the area of effect of the attack, he's blowing up the entire area.
No, wait, hold on a second. You think he's going to destroy the entire tournament stage?
No, the entire area that they were in, rather than
Yeah,
location,
they can just move. We see people. It's not a particularly big area for these MTFL characters. They move across the entire stage all the time.
Remember, they're all MTFL, and the area where they're on, remember, the tournament stage literally gets destroyed. First off, gets destroyed multiple times. This could have been an attack from a guy who's attributed to destroying the stage. So yeah, perfectly fine. Yeah, he was going to destroy
But it's
the
not
entire
a particularly big stage for these MTFL characters to travel across extremely quickly, right?
Okay,
like,
but where are they going to travel if there's no
a
stage?
fraction of a
Can
second.
you explain to me where they're going to travel if there's no stage? Why do you think he blows it up
You
himself?
just said that he wasn't going to destroy the entire stage.
I'm saying he could have.
No, he couldn't have. Because if he destroyed the entire stage, they all would have lost.
No, he would have sat on like rubble. Like, bro, the stage gets destroyed multiple times, and they jump through rubble to rubble.
Hold on. He would have sat on rubble. So
Yes,
would he have
they would
left?
have
Would he have
bounced off
left?
rubble.
Would there have been stage left or not?
Like rubble of it, it would have been
Rubble? Can you
destroyed.
prove that he was going to destroy the entire stage? What?
I'm saying he
Jiren
could have. It
literally,
was getting bigger,
Jiren
bigger,
literally
bigger.
never does that. Even when Jiren is like in his like shirt ripped off, flames around his body, angry mode, fighting MUI Goku. Even during that fight, the stage is not destroyed like that.
Yes, it is.
And they're
He literally
going
fights-
way more blow
Wait,
for blow, more powerful.
you're
at that
ratting
point.
because in Omen they literally
How am I
eviscerate
ratting?
the stage. When he fights
No,
Omen, they
demonstrate
eviscerate
that
the
I'm
stage.
ratting.
Yeah,
gonna demonstrate that
when he
I'm
fights Omen, he eviscerates the stage with just his punches. I'll literally show you.
No, hold on. At the end of the fight, at episode 131,
Wait, give me a second.
there's
I'll give you the
literally
evidence. Give me a second.
hold on, at 131,
Give me a second.
there's so much of the stage left that Android 17 and Frieza crawl out of completely separate areas of the
There's
stage
not
where
much
they've
stage
been
yet.
for
Hold on.
multiple
I'll show you.
episodes. That's fine, but then that just
You're
means
not
that
lying. You're
it's
not.
fine,
You're
that's
lying,
fine.
by the way.
But then you're just
No,
conceding that
no,
it wouldn't have
it's not.
destroyed the entire stage.
That's not a concession. I've told you multiple times that Jiren, just by punching and fighting another person, just off like the side effects of it, has destroyed the stage. All I'm saying
No,
to you,
hold on,
don't cut me off. Don't cut me off.
Okay,
I'm
go for
saying
it.
that he threw an attack, which it's obviously meant for an area of effect that is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He shot it to the arena. It's actively destroying the arena that they're in and encroaching the entire area. And 17's idea, because it was going to take up the entire area, wasn't to move out the way, like Vegeta told them, because they're both on the floor unconscious. It was to suicide bomb it and get rid of it.
Okay, I'll tell you this. It's not once shown on any panel or any part of the anime that this thing was going to envelop the entire stage. It's only shown to be directed in their direction. Sure, it's an area of effect attack.
You just
Hold on, it's
conceded
an
that
area
it's
of
not
effect
directed in their
attack,
direction.
but they were using area of effect attacks in much stronger forms later down the line anyway, and even that was not eviscerating the entire stage. So when you make a baseless conjecture claim, when you make the assumption that it was going to destroy the entire stage, when you have no reason to believe that, it's laughable. I think the point's
all your points are completely laughable. First off,
based on what?
Yeah, I'm gonna explain to you now. The area of effect attacks that you're talking about that were gonna destroy that are bigger than this one, literally were redirected from the stage. One, like the MUI Goku and Jiren one. You're not engaging me. What do you mean?
So wait, when you say they were redirected from the stage, what are you talking about? What context are you talking about?
Somebody blasted them away from the stage into the infinite void. That's exactly
so what? What does that demonstrate?
Are you a fool? He's a troll.
So any blast that gets redirected off of the stage is going to inherently destroy the entire stage. Is that what you're claiming, Jester? Is that your claim?
That's not what I'm saying. You're saying that even bigger. You're saying even bigger brass previous didn't destroy the stage. I just gave you context as to why they didn't destroy the stage.
No, I didn't say previous. I didn't say previous. I said that when Goku is I said when Goku MUI is fighting Jiren after he literally gets a power boost, right?
Okay.
And he's fucking shirtless.
Yep.
These people, at least based on the anime, I'm not so sure on the manga, they're clearly using attacks that have wide area of effect, and these are clearly more powerful attacks because they're much more powerful in these forms. And even these are not destroying the entire stage, not even close. So what you're talking about is complete conjecture. You're just assuming it for no reason. So prove that Jiren was going to destroy the entire stage with that blast. I think
You're lying. No, you're lying because I've already presented multiple times. When he fights Omen, he literally eviscerates the stage like around.
No, prove that. Prove that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll prove it now. I'll go for it right now.
Okay, go ahead and prove that.
Hold up. Can you see? Can anybody see my screen? Hold up. I'm gonna show you something. Can you see my screen? Ready for this big giant idiot who has
Are you live streaming it right now? Hold on. Gosh, I can't hear anything. God damn it.
No, he's not.
Wasn't he gonna stream something?
Yo, hello? Yeah, I was streaming something. I got like kicked and suppressed.
Yo, someone let him stream.
Wait, Draco, look at this.
Can you guys hear? Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Draco, are you looking at my stream?
Okay, I think I might have cut out. If you're streaming, I cannot see you. Wait, if you're streaming, I can't watch it. Like,
he
it's
says
gonna
he's cutting out.
Are you looking? I just want to show you. I don't care. Look.
I can't look. It's gonna fuck up my like.
You could go to 12. I'm gonna stream it, but you could go to 12.
Just send him the video in chat.
Yeah, I sent it in evidence, but I'm gonna stream it right here. You could go to 12 minutes. That's the timestamp. Look at this fight, Draco.
Yeah, I'm watching.
They're literally eviscerating half the stage in their fight.
Stage in their fight. Oh, half the stage. Wow.
Just by punching.
So eviscerating half the stage is equivalent to to proving that this AoE attack that he was launching specifically at Goku, Vegeta, and 17 was going to destroy the entire stage. How does that follow, Jester?
Okay, this is post MUI.
How does that follow?
Okay, it's really clear. I don't think you're following Forks. By just
I don't think you're following. That was a total non-sequitur.
No, definitely not. Just the side effect of him fighting. He has no regard for the stage and where he's at, because just by fighting, just the side effects of fighting UI Goku, he eviscerates half the stage right away.
That's cool. That's cool. He could be using more power. That still doesn't demonstrate he was going to destroy the entire.
Stop interrupting me. Come give me charity. Stop interrupting me. If he's trying to use large AoE attacks, but previous to there's only half the stage left, and we've already showed that his disregard of how much stage there is, that just means that yes, he probably was going to destroy the stage if that didn't get redirected or like destroyed.
Jester, can you define what a non sequitur is for us?
Are you serious, Forks?
I think that's what you're engaging in. Because like when you say that when Jiren is fighting a stronger Goku under a different context, they're destroying half the stage. I don't see how that proves that Jiren's AoE attack in that moment directed towards those.
Okay, what do you think I'm arguing?
Was gonna actually tell you what. I'll even give you more. I'll even tell you why you actually contradicted yourself earlier.
Definitely not. Go ahead.
Definitely, you definitely contradicted yourself. So when Vegeta says to 17, save yourself. How is he gonna save himself if the entire stage is destroyed?
Get out the way. As I told you multiple times.
Get out the way where?
Yeah.
Get out the way where?
Again, these dudes could jump around and rubble, and they were literally fighting in the air. It's been shown multiple times. Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. I'm gonna adjust the points because you threw a couple points at me. Goku, Jiren, and all these dudes have fought in the air multiple times, and these guys could dash around through rubble that's left in the arena. That's perfectly viable, and they've done it. And that's literally how they eliminate Jiren, like on a piece of rubble off the arena. Number one. The second thing I'm going to address, a non sequitur. You're saying that what I'm saying doesn't follow. It 100% follows, because all I'm trying to prove is Jiren's disregard for destroying the arena and even simple skirmishes. So him throwing a large area of effect attack where there's only half the stage left. Yes, he was probably going to destroy the stage. It 100% logically follows.
No,
you
you're
just not understand it. Okay, let's
You're-
conclude then.
you're-
Let's
you're-
conclude then. If I'm question making, let's conclude.
Okay, we'll
Let's
conclude. We'll
Let's
conclude. We'll conclude. Don't get pissed off with me. Okay,
Let's conclude. Let's conclude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you want to conclude first? Go
the
ahead.
entire So the entire point of this, right? I said that there is a bigger difference in speed and power between 17 and Jiren than there is between 17 and Frieza. This point was not contested. I said that 17, his shields would be able to provide him adequate defense that even if Frieza could smash through, it would take him time. And I demonstrated this by saying that, okay, well, his shields were able to give him time, right? In that they were deflecting Jiren's strong enraged attack. Now, Jester's response to this was, well, that attack could be extremely slow. And I said, okay, if it was extremely slow, then why didn't 17 just grab Goku and Frieza and move them out of the way, right? Why was there this ultimatum that either he sacrifices himself or he saves himself? To which his response was, well, the attack would have destroyed the entire stage. But that doesn't make sense because Vegeta tells 17, right, that he needs to save himself. To which Jester admits that means that he needs to get out of the way. But where is he going to get out of the way to if the attack was going to destroy the entire arena? After we got to that point, Jester ended up grasping at straws in which he stated, well, they could just be fighting on the rubble. There could still be rubble out there. Okay, even if we presuppose that there could still be rubble and that for whatever reason we're going to assume the AoE attack was going to destroy the entire stage, which was never justified, even if that were the case, then that rubble would still be an adequate place for 17 to move Goku and Vegeta, right? If the big energy ball was so slow. It seems obvious to me that the energy ball was fast enough for him to not have time to do that, but that his barriers provided him enough time to potentially get out of the way. And if that's the case, then it would do the same indefinitely with Frieza until 17 was perfectly fine in terms of stamina, and Frieza is at like the end of his stamina because he's just been fighting and fighting and fighting, smashing through shield and barrier after shield and barrier just to get nowhere, just to tire himself out. So that's my conclusion.
Okay. So Forks blatantly lost the point. He never touched on when I talked about that. When he touched the shield, it insta-popped. We're talking about the speed of it, and we talked about, and again, he never really refuted when I talked about when somebody throws large attacks like spirit bombs or large area of effect encroaching. I literally brought up blatantly in the clip that I showed you, Draco, that he shot it to the floor and it was building up speed over time. The moment it touched his barrier, it insta-popped it. Never addressed that. We literally went over that. I said Frieza's not going to shoot beams and he's going to fly through it. We went over whether these guys are faster than the laser beams that they're shooting. And I said, contextually, yes, when they throw big bombs, like for example, the spirit bombs and that thing, they are faster than that because they're literally able to shoot beams in between when they throw it. So yes, they are faster. Never addressed that. Again, the rubble point, he's just literally rambling because the rubble point is valid that they could jump around the rubble because they do it multiple times. Him saying that they can't, him saying that, he wasn't going to destroy it. I've already shown the probability as to why he probably was going to, because I've shown Jiren's disregard for the stage, and he just wants to eliminate these people. So I showed that he literally destroyed half the arena just by punching somebody and throwing a massive area of effect attack. He probably was going to too. So he never disregarded the probability of that claim as well. So I was right there. So again, he's already agreed that Frieza is massively stronger and faster than 17. All I've said, he's going to fly through the barriers faster than 17. He could put them up. He couldn't prove it, and he didn't really give any regard as to why Frieza wouldn't be able to do that. So I think he just lost the point. Like, he wasn't making any arguments.
Okay, so are you guys done?
Mm-hmm.
With that point?
Okay. Yeah. Yo.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. So ultimately I think he did better on this one, Forks, but I would have to give it to Jester again. Honestly, I think you made a fair point in okay, he's able to briefly stall Jiren, who's you guys agreed is stronger than Frieza. But the problem I have with this is, like Jester said, I don't really think you addressed this rapid fire point. But at the bigger bearing I think that it has on all of this, I think the point went on a lot longer than it needed to. I think the main things we get from this point are okay, He can briefly stall people who are stronger than Frieza. But he wasn't really able to do it by much since, like he said, they were like insta popping. But like the bigger thing I draw from the rapid fire, outside of how it bears on the speed, is like, okay, what happens after he pops one barrier in like this one-on-one engagement? Because if he's arguing, he just rapid fires as he's doing this, and it's like, it's just like continuously he just keeps getting overpowered, like Jester said. So ultimately, I think you kind of like put yourself in a corner by like steel manning. Yeah, physically, like Frieza can be like on a higher level. And then like ultimately, I think the best you got for this is like, okay, your character briefly stalls his for a few minutes. Or like a few seconds, whatever, because they're like really fast.
I think the point was that he just stalls him indefinitely until the Frieza runs out of energy, but that too, I guess.
The issue I have with that is the rapid fire. It's like, it doesn't seem, you didn't really, in my opinion.
I can't lie, I don't remember Jester saying
with that.
I think
I specifically remember it, but it should be on
was
recording.
Was this during the point where he was bringing up the clip to show you guys on stream?
No, he brought it up a few times, like at first in response to the speed.
I don't remember. Okay, I'll have to watch the recording because I actually just do not remember this point.
But yeah, I do specifically remember that. So yeah, I would have to give it to Jester. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
God, do I have dementia? Jesus Christ. All right. Anyway, so I guess we just kind of do end up, I guess, at the point that Frieza's probably stronger and faster. Do you think that Frieza, even if he were to get through the barriers, do you think that his attacks would be enough to put 17 down? Because I feel like that last fight with Jiren demonstrated that even when he takes a lot of abuse. I just wanted to go over one more small point that we could probably, because I don't think there's anything else really to bring to the table.
Jester, are you still here?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. I mean, are you just saying, so I'm gonna address this depending on how you answer this. So are you talking are we talking about TOP rules or just them after TOP?
Wait, could you repeat that? TOP rules, or
are we under the tournament of power rules, or are we just talking on a straight up fight?
Yeah, in a straight up fight. So like when Jiren beats the fuck out of 17, like he does in the tournament of power, and then several seconds go by and you argue that 17 has already recovered substantially in those several seconds. What I'm gonna argue is, okay, even if Frieza rapid fires and does a lot of damage, those short breaks between in which he can get some barriers up, even if it can't continuously stop the rapid fire, is going to be enough for him to get those few seconds in that you argued earlier was enough for him to recover substantially. So he's still going to outlast.
Yeah, Frieza. Yeah, if Frieza's trying to win in these fights, my thing is Frieza's just going to go in and try to just put your character out of commission immediately. Because your character's your character's capable of recovery. So if you grant that I can reach your character, you think Frieza's gonna hit him and sit there and look at him for 10 seconds? He's gonna keep beating.
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that let's say that just like with Jiren, let's say that Frieza goes up to punch 17. 17 is able to tank this abuse, puts a barrier over them, blows themselves up, doing significant damage to both. But then in the downtime, he puts up another barrier and recovers for a few seconds, rinse, repeat.
The problem that you're facing here is that Frieza's consistently beating him up. So does he have time to be able to do these type of things in multiple occasions? No, definitely not. If he's
do you think that he can't grab onto Frieza's arm, put a barrier over them, then explode like he did with Jiren?
No.
So why was he able to do it with Jiren right after Jiren beat the fuck out of Frieza?
He caught him off guard and Jiren's fatigued.
He caught him. Okay, here's why this doesn't work, right? Because he caught him off guard to initially tackle him, right? However, before Jiren was able to kick him off or punch him off, the barrier was already up, which means that the barrier speed, we could just argue it's far faster than his normal body movement speed, and it would be enough to catch Frieza.
Yeah, the thing that you're having here, Jiren didn't realize he's gonna barrier around them and blow themselves up.
Well, whether or not he realizes it, the fact is that he got tackled. He immediately went to try to punch or kick him off, but he wasn't fast enough before the barrier went up. So whether or not Frieza realizes what's happening, he's not going to be able to stop it. Especially if we argue that Frieza's going to be doing this aggressive bullshit. It's just going to happen to him again.
You're misunderstanding. It isn't a tournament where you're not allowed to kill. When you're massively stronger than somebody, Frieza uses kill moves in character.
I think that you can go all out without being lethal.
No, but Frieza wants to be. That's in this character.
No, but I'm saying that Jiren is stronger than Frieza. Just because he wasn't trying to be lethal doesn't mean he wasn't going all out. And so 17 was taking those attacks. I don't think Frieza's going to be able to kill him like that. Like, what do you think Frieza's going to do to kill him instantly?
When you're massively stronger than somebody by a large margin, there's a variety of things you could do. He literally has a move where he like levitates you away from him because he literally has telekinesis and explodes you.
Wait, hold on.
That's only shown to be effective on people that are like Krillin level in the Namek saga.
It's because he's massively stronger than Krillin.
No, but I don't think. Sorry, what's up, Jacob?
When you say going all out, you just mean like he's not holding back his stats, right?
Yes, I just see no reason why Frieza would be able to instantly.
Yeah, because it's just confusing when you're both using that term.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. But here's the thing, I don't think you can ever demonstrate that 17 is as comparatively weak to Frieza as Krillin was. I think even you know that's absurd. I don't think you want to rat in this debate.
No, I'm not ratting. I'm just saying the reason why he's capable of doing that to Krillin is because Krillin could resist him. You literally concede the fact that if he gets to the barrier, he's literally a cannon fodder where he has to resort to like suicide bombs, and I think
it's going to be effective. I think it's going to be effective. You already made the argument earlier that he only needs a few. Oh yeah,
you're misunderstanding.
You already made the argument earlier. He
has to resort to Tiatsu methods because it's the only thing he could do.
It's the only thing he needs to do.
No, because he's massively stronger than them. They're not relative at all. Like not even close.
Cool. That's cool.
So then yes, he would be Krillin level. Yes, by that.
Okay. Wait. Frieza being stronger and him being Krillin level comparatively, you'll never be able to demonstrate.
Okay.
No shot. Okay. And I know you don't believe that either. And I know you keep on trying to frame my argument as, he's so helpless. All he could do is suicide bomb. It's not a matter of helplessness. We just know. Hold on, I'm almost done. We just know. Oh yeah, we know that 17 is willing to make those kind of sacrifices if that's what he needs to do to blow himself up, get a few seconds of recovery, which you argued was sufficient for him to get substantially recovered, and just repeat the process. Then that's going to be his path to victory.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You just keep arguing the same thing and keep saying it. Again, it doesn't matter. I'm arguing why he's massively stronger to the point where it's comparative and like a gap between him and Krillin.
Yeah. How do you quantify that?
Yeah. So literally, he's just able to one tap him, even beyond one tap him. As a matter of fact, it's beyond one tapping him because remember, you're giving me rhetoric. No, I'm not giving you rhetoric. Remember, we've established this multiple times in the debate. He is able to fight at this consistent level, so he's basically fresh, while Frieza and Jiren are fatigued.
That has nothing to do with.
No, I'm gonna explain. Well, let me. I'm not objectively quantifying. I'm giving a good measure to explain to you why he'd be able to just levitate him and blow him up in one go if he wants to kill him. Because he's just gonna overpower. Look, he's gonna overpower him with ki. His ki is massively above him. The problem you're having here is that already while he's massively weakened and fatigued, Jiren one tapped them. That same Jiren that's relative to Frieza. So Frieza at his full power, 100% can. Unless you can prove otherwise.
You don't know that. All we know is that the baseline for him being able to do this is for you to be comparatively weaker to him, just like Krillin was at that level.
Okay.
That's the baseline quantification that we're aware of.
I think he
So when
probably
you
is.
just presuppose that him having any kind of key advantage over somebody else means that he would just do that same thing to
It's a
him,
massive
I
key
find that
advantage.
absurd. It's a massive leap. Why didn't he do that against Goku before he got Super Saiyan, or even
you
went
see
into
how he says
Kaioken?
it massively? Because first off,
It is a
again,
massive leap. You're on your Super Mario
no, it's not.
Brothers shit.
Yeah,
It's a massive
he's saying it's a
All right,
massive.
one at a
He's saying,
time, please.
yeah, he's saying it's a massive leap. We've already established
Mm-hmm.
that he is massively stronger than him. Two,
No.
the Goku example. Goku
Mhm.
was literally boxing with him. Like, let's be serious.
No, hold on a second.
Yes, he
Goku
was.
in Kaioken, and then he used the Spirit Bomb. That
Look-
wasn't even enough to
look at
take out
Frieza.
a non-full powered Frieza. So why
But
didn't
Frieza is
Frieza,
not massively
before
above
that
him to be able to
point,
do that.
you
That's
don't
the
think
thing.
that Frieza was massively above Goku
No,
before
Goku
that
had
Super Saiyan? Why was
very
Super
valid
Saiyan
damage.
necessary? Why was Super Saiyan necessary if they were relative? You are aware that Super
He was
Saiyan Goku
enraged.
didn't. You are aware that Super Saiyan Goku didn't even stomp Frieza. You are aware they were
He
relative.
did stomp him. They were in relative. He
No,
was
they
toying
did
with him.
not. He did not.
You can't
stomp.
prove that. Yeah, you're ratting now. You can't.
Hold
prove
on.
that.
Why
was
was
toying with
Super
him.
Saiyan? Hold on. You are aware that Super Saiyan Goku was bleeding and covered in bruises after that fight, right?
Previous from the previous.
You think it's that only previous?
Yes, it was from his previous injuries.
Okay, hold on a second.
Oh yeah, go ahead and prove that. You can't prove that.
Hold on. Number one, aren't the official power levels pretty close as well?
Go ahead and pull him up. He zero diffed them.
No, it's 120 million to 150 million from what I remember.
That's a massive leap. That's 30 million.
That's not a
30 million.
massive difference.
That is.
That's like a 10% difference or a 15% difference.
He got zero diff. He literally told him he wasn't trying. He was
Okay,
toying with
all
him.
I'm saying is that Frieza was stronger than Goku. He was stronger than all the
And
Z
10%
fighters.
relatively.
Why
could be
didn't he
massive
just
in
do
case.
that to them?
He literally couldn't. What are you talking about? I've already
Do you
explained
think
to
that? Do you think that
base
Frieza could have
Goku,
done that to
You're
Piccolo?
right.
Do you think he could have done that to Piccolo?
Piccolo's capable of damaging him.
Do you think Android 17 isn't capable of damaging Frieza?
Not at full power.
So why? But you think that Jiren is stronger than Frieza, but Android 17 was able to damage that Jiren.
Off guard.
But he wouldn't be able to damage full power
Off
Frieza.
guard.
Make
Off
that make
guard.
sense. He wasn't off guard.
Yes, he
Hold
was.
on, define off guard. Define off guard.
Not paying attention, not ready, not braced for it.
Okay, cool, awesome.
So the first time he injured him.
So Jiren was not paying attention when he got initially tackled by 17, but but then Jiren looked down at him, prepared to strike.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Hold on,
He's
prepared
got-
to strike.
Jacob,
Hold on, prepared
that's not
to
what I'm talking
strike.
about. He's really weakened in fatigue.
Prepared to
He's
hold
been
on.
over.
He prepared to strike
You're not
him,
making an argument.
and
He's really
then the
weakened in
shield
fatigue.
went up, and then 17 blew up. Are you going to
That's
argue that he
weakened-
was
that's
not
weakened
off?
in fatigue, Jiren? Go.
He was still stronger than 17.
That doesn't matter. They're weakened and fatigued. I'm talking about
Okay,
full power.
but a
Frieza.
weakened and fatigued Jiren is still stronger than a weakened and fatigued Frieza, right?
They're
So
relative.
if 17, they're relative.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Then he can just damage a character who's relative to Frieza. What the fuck?
That's a heavily fatigued Frieza who ate a Hakai.
Okay, it's an arguably
You're
more
gonna know
heavily
it.
fatigued Jiren. Like at least Frieza
doesn't
had some
matter. I'm saying
downtime to
Frieza has
rest
full
for a few
power.
episodes. No, Frieza had some downtime to rest for a few episodes. Jiren just got his ass
But
beat
he's
by
still-
MUI Goku minutes ago,
but
like
Frieza's
seconds
still
ago.
panting. Like Frieza's still panting and still obviously
Okay,
bruised.
do you
And
do
the
you
quality
think that?
and the wait,
Yeah,
and
do you-
I'll make this clear. The quality of damage that he took was attempted existence erasure. So I'll make that really clear.
Okay, that's cool, but his existed. Okay, that's cool, but that's still just physical damage until
No,
the
that's not.
Hakai.
No, it's not.
Hold
No,
on,
it's-
until the
that's erasement
Hakai
from
actually
existence.
Hold on, Hold on. Let me finish. Until the Hakai actually erases your existence, it manifests as physical damage. So
It's
that's all
attempting
that
to.
counts for.
It's saying that you have to. I'm saying that he has to put forth some type of energy to be able to resist that. That's why he doesn't get erased from
That's
existence.
fine, but the fact that he resisted it means that his existence wasn't erased. He just received physical damage in the process. So when you try to categorize that as somehow different from the physical damage that Jiren received from the MUI Goku ass beating, that's not a correct.
I'm saying that the type of
differentiation.
attack that he has to resist, the things that he has to put forth to resist it, are more qualitatively than the other things.
I actually disagree. First of all, I disagree. I think that MUI Goku was way stronger in unleashing way
I don't
more
disagree.
powerful
You're not
attacks
really addressing
than the
anything.
Hakai, right? So he had to take way more powerful attacks. That MUI Kamehameha
That's okay.
was more powerful than
Jiren
the
is-
final Flash that
That's
Super
okay.
Saiyan Blue
Jiren-
Evolution Vegeta
Jiren is
beat the
able to
fuck out of
tank
Goku
more.
with.
That's okay. Jiren is able to tank more than Frieza. That doesn't resolve anything.
So then he's more weakened.
But they're relative. They're either relatively exhaustive.
So
form.
a more
Prove
okay, that's
anything.
fine. That's fine. A more weakened Jiren is relative to a less weakened Frieza, but the fact that is that they are
That's not
relative,
true.
and that 17
Just
was
because
able
he's
to damage greatly that Jiren, who was still
not making
stronger
any
than
points.
a more
Forks.
weakened Frieza.
Forks, you're just trying to steamroll. I'm saying that Jiren could take more damage and Frieza could take less, but they don't tank the same, so they could just be just as weak. That's perfectly okay. You're
No,
not
I think there's
understanding.
more. I think there's more evidence using. We can use Occam's razor and say there's more evidence that leads to the conclusion
Occam's
that
razor
Jiren
works
is
for
more
me.
weakened. Jiren took more damage
Because
from
he
a
can.
more powerful opponent, and he
Because
was
he
fighting
can.
more recently. So you can
Because
make
he
the argument
can.
that there's a
Occam's razor
possibility.
works for
We
me.
could play these possibility games if you
I'm not
want.
playing a
There's just
possibility
more.
game. Occam's
You are.
razor
There's
works
just
for
more
me.
evidence on my side. There's just more
Occam's
evidence
razor
on my
works for
side.
me. No, there's
No,
not.
it doesn't. You said that it could be the case. You're playing a possibility game. You're playing skeptic.
I didn't say it could be the case, by the way.
You said that unfounded, by the way. You said unfounded that he could just
Never
be
said
able
that.
to take more damage. So until you
I'm
found
saying
that
he
with
just
evidence,
takes more damage. That's okay.
yeah,
Anyone
and then
think
you're saying
Jiren
you're
could tank more
arguing
than
that he
Frieza?
could just he could just have a higher capacity or tolerance for damage.
Yes,
but that's
because
not.
Jiren is massively stronger than Frieza at full power. Yes, that's true.
But that doesn't mean that proportionally speaking, he has a higher tolerance for damage.
That's
You
exactly
understand
what
that?
it means. He has more AP than
No,
Frieza.
it doesn't. It means he has a
That's
more.
exactly what
No,
it means.
hold on. You're not understanding the difference between net and proportional. It could be the case that he could take more net damage because he's stronger, so he could take stronger attacks better. But proportion for proportion, pound for pound, that doesn't mean that his ability to take damage is higher. There's a very distinct.
You know,
understand?
so okay, you're saying his ability to take damage isn't higher than Frieza's ability to take damage.
Pound for pound, there's no proof for that.
Yes, there is proof for that because you literally say within your own argument he fights the strongest guy in the TOP, MUI Goku, and it's still fighting and still upfighting. So yes, you
No,
concede to
okay,
that.
you can again, you can say that his ability to handle higher level damage or higher level attacks is higher because he has higher durability, but I'm saying that he took more damage from a more powerful character, and he was fighting more recently. Frieza was off screen for several episodes at that point.
Do you not
so
argue? You're repeating. Okay, you're repeating yourself. I want to conclude on that.
I'm repeating myself because I'm right. I'm repeating myself because I'm right.
Yeah, you're just question begging. You want to conclude on that?
Question begging? I'm question begging.
Yes. You want to conclude that point right there?
We can go to conclusions after you
That's
justify that I was question begging.
I think it's self-justifiable.
It's self-justifying. Okay, then it's self-justifying.
I gave a defeater, and you just repeated the same argument. So.
Okay, it's self-justifying that I wasn't question begging. I gave evidence.
I just explained it to him right now, and he just said, "Okay."
No, I just explained it as well. I'm just contradicting.
So you're trolling. So you're just memeing out.
No, I'm just pointing out that your standard for justifying that I'm question begging could easily be used against you. So I'm just saying that
I just gave two justifications, so you're memeing.
Yeah, I just gave some justifications as well. Actually, yours weren't justifications.
Okay, you're memeing out.
We just made claims about what we did. Yeah.
No, I've gave factual evidence about the tournament of power.
No, you didn't give factual evidence. You just stated what you think you did, which is a claim, which is not a justification.
Well, I gave evidence first, so you could just.
Yeah, I gave evidence as well. Okay.
Okay, for sure. Let's conclude. Let's conclude.
Yeah, let's just conclude.
Let's conclude on the
you can go first.
on the Jiren damage point.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, perfectly fine.
On the Jiren damage point, wait, do you want to conclude on the other point that we made as well about
In a second, right after that, we'll revisit that. Yeah, Draco. I made it really clear that him talking about net and proportion, I met his criteria for both because him conceding that he fought MUI Goku and is still fighting versus Frieza at some type of another capable capacity after fighting less opponents literally proves the claim that I made. Talking about not only does he take more net damage, but he tolerates more damage than Frieza does. By definition of what he himself said, he concedes it himself. Within his own MUI Goku example, he beat his own self in the debate. He literally beat himself in the debate. I couldn't believe it. He beat himself. So, I mean, go ahead. You can argue whatever you want to say and ramble, but you just lost. Like, all
yeah. Yeah. So even in his conclusion, he manages to give more empty calorie rhetoric. I didn't concede or beat myself in the debate. It's quite silly to claim. Just like how he claimed I was question begging, that's just another claim that's going to go unsatisfied. The truth is that the net does not matter. When we're talking about who is the most tired or the most just worn down, the net doesn't matter because, as I stated, Jiren could just have a higher durability, and he does have a higher durability. So the fact that that he took more or less net damage, or Frieza took more or less net damage, it isn't really
He knows about them
what we're
counters.
worried about. The truth is that we can't know for certain who took more proportional damage. There's no way to quantify that. So all we can do, as I said, is use Occam's razor and look at the facts. And the facts is that Jiren was fighting for recently, whereas Frieza had time to recover, which is something that we obviously agree is relevant to the debate. The fact is that Jiren was fighting and was getting blown the fuck up for longer periods of time than Frieza was against more powerful attacks. So all we have to go off of Occam's razor, he was more worn down than Frieza in the final fight. It's fucking obvious.
You're beating yourself in the debate. I can't.
You're giving empty rhetoric that nobody cares about. Okay.
It's substantial. So.
It's substantial, yeah. Actually, I'm not going to ask you to prove that because you would just say something like it's self-justifying or some other nonsense.
Yeah. You're hilarious, bro.
Yeah. You know it's true. You know it's true.
You're gonna lose another point.
You know it's true. That's why. Look, he's going again. Going again. He's trying to be aggressive and funny. He thinks it makes sense.
You're trying to meme out because you lost.
Yo, you guys hear that? You guys hear that frustration in his voice? That's the frustration of a man who knows that he lost the point.
For sure.
For sure. He even agrees. Okay. What's up, Jacob?
All right. So again, I think on this we strayed too far away from the original point at hand. Which seemed to be okay, how much damage is he taking when he gets hit by Frieza?
Mm-hmm.
And while you pointed out, I don't think you guys were using the right word initially where you were talking about it when you were pointing out, while you don't necessarily have a quantification. You do have a qualification that Frieza goes for the kill on people comparatively weaker than him, but the thing I'm a little hazy on there is okay, so weren't you saying okay, when you said comparatively weaker, you meant okay, comparatively as in you think Krillin's significantly weaker than Frieza, way more than 17? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, what I was saying is that there's no way for him to prove that 17 is as weak compared to Frieza in the TOP as Krillin was weak to Frieza in Namek. No shot.
Okay, well, if you're if you're not declaring that you don't think that you don't think you don't necessarily think Android 17 is closer to Frieza significantly than Krillin would be, then it's I think we're in the same situation as the other first 2 points where you've kind of boxed yourself in to where it's okay, we don't know if he's one-shotting him, but if it's he's significantly stronger, we know he's doing damage. We're already past this point with the barriers and the stats, and it seemed like the fatigue point, as far as comparing their states of fatigue, I thought that was addressed during the first point in Frieza's favor, but again, it just seems to me we get into this point where it's it's just arguing how badly does 17 lose.
No, it's not what we're arguing over. So he made the point that no, listen to this guy. Listen to this guy. He's so insecure. Every time I open my mouth, he tries to do a little kind of.
I'm gonna be myself. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I mean you are acting like a real life Jester.
All right, let's be civil.
But hold on. Here's kind of the broader point, Jake. Here's kind of the broader point, Jake. I was saying that we can agree that he's weaker than Frieza by some vague notion. However, the fact is that Android 17 was pretty significantly damaging someone who was stronger and, as I argued, more fatigued and yet still scaling above Frieza at the end of the show. So I was just saying that comparing him to Krillin is genuinely disingenuous. And the reason I was comfortable conceding that, almost done, the reason I was comfortable conceding that 17 could be weaker than Frieza and could still be able to win the fight is because Jester agreed earlier that it only takes a few seconds for 17 to recover substantially. And so I argued, okay, well then he just does the thing to Frieza that he does to Jiren, where he blows himself up, they get significantly damaged, he puts up a barrier, a few seconds recovery, rinse and repeat.
And so Draco.
Yeah,
So
but I
piggyback
think,
on what he says
hold
there.
on, Jester. I
Go
think
ahead, bro.
the point where we got to that was, as far as like the suicide bomb, it was like, I thought we got to, okay, at full power, he's not going to be able to damage Frieza with the suicide bomb. Maybe when he's weakened, but then I think we got to like, as far as like, okay, we're still at this point where like he's beating him up before it gets to that point. So
I don't know if I said that he would never damage
But
Frieza.
like look at this.
I thought like
Hold up.
I thought like I heard Jester argue it, and I didn't think I heard contention with.
I
it.
did. I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna explain why. And this is literally what's been established in the debate. 17 is literally fresh, while Frieza and Jiren are nowhere near their full powers. And keep in mind, Jiren two-tapped them. So he literally didn't have a chance in this debate. Like it's so crazy. Like I don't even know why you're arguing anymore.
No more empty calorie rhetoric. He just can't help himself.
Those are legitimately
You
considered.
had to have the double. You had to have the double scoop, double serving.
I know you don't know about empty calories. You are literally huge. You're huge.
Good.
I know, bro. You don't know about nothing about no empty calories.
I don't
You be
know.
eating
Yeah,
3,000
you're right. I don't
calories
know
a
about no
day,
empty
3
calories,
steaks a
bro.
day.
I only give full meals, boy. Full consumable meals.
I know 6 meals a day. That's not good.
Yes, sir. Because I get into the meat and potatoes of it. You just like to play around with the side.
You say he's making nagging about food. You're so fat. You're so fat.
I'm so fat. I'm so fat. It's because I'm full of W's. You wouldn't know nothing about that, would you?
You lost. I mean, what
I lost what? I lost what? I lost to empty calories. Okay, yes, sir. Okay, but anyway, you can say that Frieza was weakened to some extent. That still doesn't change the fact that he was strong enough to go into his gold form. Still doesn't change the fact that he was literally off panel resting for the past 4 episodes. It still doesn't change the fact that 17 was also damaged, and I don't know why we would assume he was at full health. You could say he recovered significantly. That's fine. That's different from being at full health. So,
Bro, are y'all really about to redebate this?
No, we're not gonna redebate. I'm just contending that I somehow beat myself in a debate. It's kind of funny how Jester said that.
I mean, the points have been established. I mean, the judges
have been established. Yeah, I agree. They've been established.
Sure, so I don't think you have anything else to go. So I think we're finished, right?
I think that we can finish.
Okay, so yeah, GG's. That's it.
GG's. Oh shit! Why is my battery,
bro? Jesus Christ, bro! It's long ass recording, bro.
Oh, is it? Yeah, how long?
It's like an hour and 30 minutes. All right, crown me. Give me my belt. 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 Auden, give me my belt. Is Auden here?
Auden ran.
Bro, somebody give him my belt, bro. I'm sorry.
Apollo, give him his belt. Wait, Apollo, you can make a fight for it first.
What? This is literally.
Hey, don't worry, folks. I always got your back, bro. Like you're.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how half the people showed up just to shit on me in text. Like,
no, bro. I'm sorry, Forks.
Just ignore it. Just keep pushing,
bro.
No. It's not bothersome. It's just like these people have nothing better to do with their lives. Oh my god.
It's literally like the Jester effect, bro. Like I don't understand. Like people spawn in and start like screaming, bro. Like it's ridiculous.
Now you know how I feel.
Who's that?
Yeah, for real, Pats.
Force
keep pushing through like the Attack
Wait,
on Titan.
who said that? Who said? Now you know how I feel. Who said that?
It was Willie.
The Willie W, bro. Willie W. Yo, is that
y'all
clever?
Go follow Willie on IG.
Yeah, I want to know who got the picture of my book bag from my Instagram. By the way, they're low-key demonic.
Yeah, Draco, that's not my ID anyway.
Bro, I don't know. They posted like
Willie
posts over like an 8-month period. They do consistent stories. Like that shit for me.
I can show you my actual ID if you want.
Okay, next debate. Next debate is
Shut up.
It's Bubbles.
No. Holy Frieza.
Yeah, do that. When are you guys doing that?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. What
Tomorrow?
time?
What time?
I don't know.
All right, let me know since it's happening like Gladiators.
And that's give me the. I'm gonna be the triple champion. Like I'm literally gonna be the triple champ.
Do you guys want to judge that? Because I think Bubbles would be fine with that.
Yeah. I'd be cool with that, bro.
Okay.
I'm gonna beat him, bro.
All right. I'm gonna go listen to some TikTok music and drink some coffee. You guys have fun.
Yo, W, bro.
Thank you for being mostly civil, Forks.
You are welcome,
no,
Mister.
Bro,
I'm
civil?
gonna downplay the admirals. Yeah.
Bro.
Right.
Oh, what? Oh my god! Wait, Forks, you watch One Piece? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you do. That's actually crazy. He just dissed you.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is the Admirals will get awakenings, but I saw an opportunity. I literally just made one thing shitting on the Admirals, got like crazy fucking views.
Bro, I'm gonna make
The
it clear.
Admirals are frauds.
I'm gonna make it clear, bro. Now y'all gotta move me up above Forks on the tier list, bro. Please stop doing that, bro. That's the only reason
I didn't have you below Forks.
No, somebody did. I'm not gonna point any fingers. I'm not gonna point any. I'm not.
Yo, who's
gonna
that
point
somebody, by the way,
I'm not
Jester?
gonna point any fingers. You're definitely one of them. This nigga's crazy. He's definitely one. He's definitely one of them. This nigga's crazy. Anyways.
Bro, I have Dragon above Shanks right now.
Dragon above, bro. What is the dragon skin? Bro, what is the dragon skin?
I get the Blackbeard over Shanks. Let him know.
Like, how can you prove that? Like, what do you mean? Like,
bro, Draco, tell him, bro. He has
Bro,
all the
like
skin.
half of One Piece scaling like comes from the fucking guides.
Literally, and that's where Blackbeard scaling comes from. He stayed the strongest like a million times.
fucking hate all of you, bro.
I don't think they hate all of you, bro.
And then there's Silhouette Piece.
What's Silhouette Piece?
Oh, there are like all the important fights that happen off screen, like a Kainu versus
the Dragon Blackbeard
Sabo versus the Admirals.
Hold up.
Dragon versus
This is
Blackbeard.
the dude I'll be defeating tomorrow, everybody. I have to banish.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
On that when he debates.
He's just like fucking invincible.
Bro. But yeah, I'm not pointing any fingers.
God, someone get that man to a hospital.
Not pointing any fingers, guys, but somebody should stop putting me below Forks on the tier list. You know what I'm saying? Anybody in specific should do that, but you probably should do that because I think I've performatively displayed why I'm just better than him in every aspect. So, like I said, nothing I haven't dealt with before. I told you I was going to do it. I'm a double champion. I'm the champion of Game Boot and I'm the champion of FRA. So, and I'll soon be the champion of Gladiator Pit because Bubbles is not beating me. So, you know, guys. Oh, that's the disgusting image, but I don't know what to tell you. Tier 1 in a couple months. W.
Nah, he's spitting.
Who's spitting?
Not Black Star.
What do you say? Everyone in the universe gets screaming. What is he in reference to? What? Nah, Draco, you're